Vincent Yerger. My industry sector is construction and maintenance. This is my advisory committee meeting agenda. The date is 9/12/2018. Time is 9 a.m. Location is RSD at 5920 East Shields Avenue, Suite 101, Fresno, California. My committee members are Randy Solis. He's in HVAC equipment sales and support. Devin Putnam, he's also at RSD. He does HVAC controls and tech support and design. My next committee member is Moses Aguirre. He's an HVAC contractor. Been in business for about 20 years. Been in the industry about 30. And my last committee member is Jose Martinez. He's actually an HVAC technician. He's been in the trade for about 10 years. He's got a lot of good knowledge, and these guys have they've been in the industry a long time. The purpose of my meeting today and topic is ways committee members help students in CTE programs such as mine. The committee members help in many ways. They inform the community about my program. They provide information about the trade and the new technology. Because I'm not active in the field anymore, these guys are kind of my eyes and ears, so it helps me keep my students up to date with the latest and greatest. They also provide guidance and input for my instructional content to better my program. They maintain good relationships with other contractors and other vendors in the trade, people affiliated with the trade, in which we can all network. They also supply us with information such as what employers are looking for, and what certifications are needed and available jobs. My mission statement as an air conditioning instructor at Pleasant Valley State Prison: it is very important to me to provide my students with as much of the same opportunities that I had, and teach them the needed skills not to only become successful qualified technicians when released, but become productive, trustworthy, and honest citizens. How I teach: I have provided a link below to give you an idea of how I teach. As far as working with English language learning students, our facility supplies interpreters if need be, and main books to meet their needs. And let's see it. My course outline. My course outline is designed to prepare students for a successful career in the heating and air conditioning industry. When they complete this course, they'll be proficient in the refrigeration cycle. They should be able to explain the refrigeration cycle, know what the refrigerant does and at what points it does it in. They should be able to use the proper tools for the job, and take care of the tools. They also learn teamwork and communication skills. In our classroom, we have stations where the guys get in groups, they work together. They do small and medium-sized projects, and they'll work like a week or two on one project, maybe installing some equipment, and they gotta learn to get along, which they do really good in, and they communicate well with each other to get these jobs completed. Also, they'll be proficient in electrical wiring diagrams. We've got other training modules that we use that have electrical components and wiring on it. We actually take the wires off those components and take the wires completely off and let the students rewire the entire system looking at a schematic. This is where I come in, the shop stuff. I do lecture in the morning, but I also work with the guys in the shop. I let them make mistakes and correct those mistakes when I need to, but I let them fight with it for a little bit so they learn something. It's actually a really good system for me, and it works really, really well. They'll also be proficient in brazing and soldering copper tubing. There's different ways of doing that, soft solder, brazing, and they have to learn how to do that and make sure that their welds are totally sealed and complete. Also, they'll be good with critical thinking skills. That's a lot of our program. These guys have to figure stuff out on their own. We have books, plenty of them, different kinds of books in the air conditioning trade, where I make them look for the information they need before they come ask me any questions. I'll give them a little push here and there, but I like those guys to dig for the information and try to find it on their own. It seems when they do that, it seems like it sticks a little better. It actually works out really well for me. The last and one that's really important is employability skills. These guys need to know what the employers are looking for. We actually give a class at the end. We do it a couple times a year for refreshers, because I'll have guys in my class, they may stay there 2-3 years, but we give refreshers at the end of every class that they complete, and that is to go over how they should perform in the field and how they should act with an employer or be with an employer or a company of a business, how they should conduct their services, and with a good personality, go to work every day. If something comes up, make sure you call in. To me, that's all important, and that's one of the things we do several times a year with them. Next is how I prepare my students in class to be college and career prepared. We do several things, but they're prepared through basically work-based learning and rigorous academics combined. The way the prison works is we do a lot of the mechanical training on the HVAC side, and sometimes we'll get guys that are needing to do some academics. They're actually enrolling in college at with West Hills College. West Hills College actually comes to our facility now, and these guys are able to take college courses. It's actually a pretty good deal. We've got some really good guys going to school there, and hopefully through all this they'll be able to change their lives. We also conduct work-based projects with real-life scenarios in which students can apply their critical thinking and communication and collaboration skills while performing hands-on activities. We do quite a bit of that in our class. The guys seem to like that. They actually retain more by doing it hands-on than the bookwork stuff, even though the bookwork stuff has to be done. I actually like hands-on myself. I've always been better at that. Next is job outlook. The future looks very good for the air conditioning industry. There are a lot of people in the HVAC trade. Many of the people that are in the trade, we find are not qualified or skilled enough to perform the jobs with precision craftsmanship. The local unions don't have enough qualified technicians and installers to perform or bid on the work. This has caused many large companies from other states to work in our area. So we lose out on the work here in the valley. This has been an ongoing problem for several years. Hopefully, now the California Department of Corrections is currently working with the local unions to help put our graduates to work in the air conditioning industry and maybe give our students something to strive for. Instead of just taking a course and not really knowing what's going to happen when they get out of prison, they can, the guys that want to keep going in the trade and possibly get a job with one of the unions, this will give them something to work towards. So it doesn't just seem like a dead-end thing. They're just going to school and going through the motions or what have you. So we're currently working with the unions in that now. I actually have a pretty decent relationship with the local 246 out of Fresno, refrigeration pipe fitters. And I'll be back and forth with those guys over the next couple years, trying to get some stuff worked out as well. As far as our student participation in meetings, that's a little difficult for me for where I'm at, because I teach at a prison. It's probably not going to work out, but if the students were able to attend the committee meetings, they would be able to give feedback on the curriculum and provide some advice to things that they would like to have added, or maybe some things that needed to be adjusted with our program that would benefit the other students as well as themselves. The responsibilities at a committee meeting would be to take notes and ask questions regarding what was discussed during the meeting and make suggestions on important topics for the next meeting. So actually, if they were to attend our meetings, I think they'd probably give us some pretty good feedback that would help us maintain and build our program. Because they're on the inside looking out, we're kind of in the middle of it, but I think that would work out well. Things my committee members can do to improve my program. The committee members would be able to ask for anything that could help provide. The committee members would be asked for anything they could help provide, such as books, training materials, and donated equipment to improve our program and keep my program up to date with technology. This trade changes a lot. They're always coming out with new stuff, and it would be good. Those guys would be good to give us the information that we needed so we could keep up. They've all been in the trade for a long time, and they have a lot of connections. I would also ask them to help coordinate training seminars where someone could actually come out to our prison. We have to do a lot of legwork on our end to get this to happen, but we'd have companies come out. These guys could help coordinate that. I would do the work on the inside as far as the prison goes, and they could do the legwork on the outside. And then I'd like to see people, companies that, the bigger shops, like the manufacturers like Carrier, Train, York, maybe come out, which would provide a little variety within our program. I believe this would also help the students stay motivated and focused in the heating and air conditioning industry. I think it's a big deal to have somebody on the outside come in and explain things rather than just myself. I always liked that when I was in school and somebody came out to do that. I don't know, it just changed things up a little bit for me, and it was actually pretty exciting when I got to do that. Because unfortunately our guys, we can't go on field trips like I used to be able to do. The field trips were actually real cool. You could go to buildings maybe a journeyman guy was working on, and they were in the process, and he would get it all set up, and the whole class would go over and walk the building and check out all the new equipment they were installing and get to see all the new controls and kind of see how things work and operate. When I was an apprentice, that was a real big deal to me, and I got a lot out of it. In conclusion, I hope that all my committee members understand how important my air conditioning program at Pleasant Valley Prison is to the public and to myself. I would hope that each and everyone participates in spreading the word about this program, the positive effects it is making on the students' lives and the challenges students face when released. I would like to thank all committee members for their support and time they spend assisting me in building my program. It really means a lot to me. The commitment I have made to help improve lives of others has had some challenging moments, but I would like you all to know that I could not be successful without your support. Okay, this concludes our meeting. I will contact all of you in a few days and discuss your suggestions on improvements and changes to my program. The next meeting will be held at the same location on Tuesday, April 2nd. Same place, same time. And minutes for our meeting today will be sent out next week. Thank you all again for participating in my journey. Have a great afternoon.